Hey everyone, my name is Taps. I'm here to show you how you can find low cap altcoin gems or hidden crypto gems, whatever you want to call it. I'm a crypto, stock, real estate investor, but never a financial advisor, so this is not financial advice, just mind share. I'm doing this video now because I recently got a bump in my ETH, as we all did, and so I've got a little bit of excess ETH or money to spend, so I looked at what are some areas that I can now turn that into some new investments and that could skyrocket over the next 3 months. So I essentially moved my Ethereum into my MetaMask account and then started buying a couple of hidden cap gems. So my goal is to look for ones like put $200 or so or more into each one of these picks and then watch, and hopefully, they'll go 10x or 20x or much higher. So that was my goal. So I'll show you the coins I found, how and why I invested them. But first, I want to show you the 3 different methods I use. Why? Because I believe it's important to empower all of you to go out and find your own gems. The gems in this video are based on my findings, but there are tons. There are tons and tons out there. So if you find some, let the community know. One thing I will say though is careful with low cap gems. They're substantially riskier plays. They could skyrocket or they could tank. So make sure you do your own research and don't play with money you can't afford to lose. Okay, so the first strategy we're going to be using starts in CoinGecko, and you can follow along if you'd like, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to start by looking for a market cap of, I prefer between 25 to 100 million. And the reason why is because some people say, oh, it's not a low cap gem unless it's around 10 million or so. I want to find something that's at least 25 million or more, because the lower you get, the riskier it is in terms of, just created projects from developers that basically get people to pump the coin and then bow out, and that's called a rug pull. So I want to make sure that it's not going to be a rug pull, and also that it has enough infrastructure to where it can have some big catalysts and big gains and some big news. And then less than 100 million, just because that's what I really consider as like, okay, it's been validated like a little bit, and they can still very much run from there, but I prefer the 25 to 100 million. So there's room to grow. So what you're going to do is, we're here in CoinGecko. We can see 1 through 100 on the first market cap. They're all ranked. So what we want to do is we want to click these arrows. I'm going to zoom in real quick. We want to click over here on these arrows. We see the market cap starts to go down. I'm going to go down to around probably like 35, and I'm doing this all real time. I haven't done this ahead. I just wanted to kind of see if I could find one live with you guys. So I'm down to around the 35 market cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actively be looking now for the 7-day, what's had the biggest gains. You can see Mooncoin shot up 1100% all the way down to, I guess, WOM protocol. And then I'm also going to be looking for the 24-hour volume, so what's being traded actively the most. And usually a lot of these spikes could be because of recent news or many things, but what I'm looking for is a commonality. Basically where I see a coin pop up in both of these. So we can see Mooncoin, Airblock, Polyswarm, Altonio, Viacoin. I'm just doing like a quick glance of all these names. I'm going to be looking for commonalities. So now we're going to click on 24 volume. I think Aurora, Rio DeFi, Unilayer, OST. I think those are the ones that stuck out. Altonio. Okay. Altonio is the one that I saw immediate. So it's up 100%. And on its volume, I guess I didn't need to do that. And on its volume, it's around, where was it? 1,855,000. So let's go ahead and click into Altonio. I have no idea what this is. So here we can see it is ranked number 603. We can see that it is been around since, I click on max, so okay, it's been around since 2018. So this is not a newer project, and it's been gaining some substantial steam. So Let's zoom out or zoom into the 30-day, 90-day. It really took off in February and has had some consolidation, but is steadily gaining. So I'm not sure why yet, but when we look down, we can see that it had a huge spike in volume. So maybe it went to a new exchange, or maybe it had like a mainnet 2.0. There's a whole bunch of things I'm looking for to figure out like why it's continually going up, but I like to see that it is continually going up and that it's been around for a while, because we can then consider that maybe it has a lot more to go and that they've been building this out for a while. So let's look at the markets. We can see that it's available on Uniswap, Bilaxy, a couple different exchanges here. Uniswap's the main one that I use for hidden cap gems, which I would just go ahead and click. I would check the contract, click to MetaMask. It'll pull it over into MetaMask, and then you can go ahead and use Uniswap to exchange this for Ethereum, to then hold it in your MetaMask. Make sure you have Ethereum in your MetaMask. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to actively look at their website. So Autonio Foundation, all the website information is always right here. I'm going to click that, and let's take a look at this thing. So democratized trading, crowdsourced liquidity, a lot of crowdsourcing stuff coming out. Ecosystem, AI. What I'm looking for is like roadmaps and upcoming big catalysts in the news, and like anything like with mainnets or exchanges or new functionality or NFTs. Half the things that are coming out are NFTs right now, and it's getting them big spikes. Who they're backed by, and news or upcoming news. So again, we always want to look now for what is going to be future, or what's going to be coming. And so looking down here, our vision, meet the team, our partners, Crypto.com, Loopring, Polygon, Singularity, Elron, some big names. They've also been around for a while, so that makes sense. Lower fees, DAO, governance. I'm not seeing anything amazing with this one yet. Where to buy now? And one thing I did mean to mention too is when you do buy things with Uniswap, and if you're using MetaMask or however you're doing so, be cognizant of the gas fees. So I usually put like minimum around $200 into something, just because, yeah, I'm expecting one of these to 10x or so. I'm not swing trading with these because the gas fees are insane. So I think I went gem hunting and I found like 8 coins or so, and I ended up spending like $600, 8 or 10 coins, and like $600 in just gas fees alone. So I'm placing my bets or my picks. I'm placing my picks now and letting them sit over the next 2 to 3 months, unless there's a substantial spike, because I want to make sure that I'm going to be recouping that gas fee. I don't see anything about roadmap. I don't see anything that like jumps out about news, which, man, so many of these projects have roadmaps listed in here. So when I see one that doesn't, especially one that's been around for a long time, it makes me a little bit, weary about it. But I don't see anything specific about how the token is. Oh, there we go. Hold to use. It is used to gain access to the trading tool set, marketplace currency, governance, lower fees. Down number. Ooh. Yeah, this one doesn't wow me. If one of you are holding this coin, please tell me why it's so amazing, or why it's spiking. But I don't really see anything that jumps out. And the only thing, like, they don't even have a news. I have a blog. SmartDex version 1.0 just came out. Tonio to integrate with Chainlink. That's good. Liquidity mining campaign bonus. Top 4 pioneering. Says transform. Yeah, so I'm not sure why this is continuing to gain. There's just not enough information for me to invest in it. But this is the process that I go through to find these. So fortunately, we weren't able to do it live with you guys, but that is an example of how I find things. So now I'm going to show you what I found and what I invested in yesterday that's already having results. The first coin that I want to show you that I found, and I still think is a good one to invest in, is Ubix network, or UBX. So I invested in it yesterday, and in 24 hours, sometime around less than a cent or so, and it's shot up. It's still less than a cent, but it has gone up 69% in 24 hours. So absolutely excited that I got in yesterday and not today. But again, I think this one has a lot to go, especially since it's up 7 days, 310%, 14 days, 582%. You can get it on KuCoin, that's where I got it. But this is a pretty cool project. It is a hybrid directed acrylic graph built in GitHub essentially. And I'm not going to go too much into what it is. They have a pretty cool ability that if you hold over 1 million of it, which is it's a low priced coin, then you do receive daily airdrops, which I think is what's kind of drawing a lot of adoption for it as well. They have a huge ecosystem. They're doing a ton, again, crowdfunding as well, Ubix Exchange. But here's an example of what I want to see is a lot of different use cases for it, as well as it did give us the market cap where it didn't originally on CoinGecko, but in here we can see that it's at a 31 million, so it meets our target for a low cap gem. And then when we move down, this is the stuff I want to see, is a roadmap that is updated by percentages. Those are awesome, and we can see several of these are really close on the Ubix Exchange, on the Binance Smart Chain integration, Silent Notary, and Ubix for the various tasks. Website redesign is obviously already completed. They did a great job. When I look down, I looked at a couple of their C level. Looks pretty good. And the more time I spent into this project, really digging into it, I kept seeing things I liked. So I think this is a smart pick, and I did invest into it. The next coin that I found on here was Polka Foundry. So Polkadot's been building a ton, and there's a couple things I looked at, like I found like Polka Bridge and a couple other ones, but Polka Foundry I think is pretty legit. So again, in the past 24 hours, let's update this. In the past 24 hours, I'm up 75%. So it already performed really well, had a big spike up, and when I looked at it, the one-stop production hub for DeFi and NFT applications on Polkadot. It allows you to create borderless and frictionless DeFi and NFT apps. It is designed to unleash developers to explore new horizons of the DeFi and NFT landscape. So again, it has this call to action, why it's kind of different from everything and what it can do. Again, I'm trying to go through these pretty quick, so this isn't a really long video. Always do your own due diligence, but this seems like a pretty awesome one with a lot of big catalysts coming. They talk about the ecosystem. I like that the data providers come from Chainlink, Arai Chain, Kylan, some others, and you can see that has bridges directly with Bitcoin and Ethereum. It talks about, again, the use cases about how it solves decentralized applications, UX or user experience issues. We can see that it has a direct use case from T-Work, and then the roadmap. I love roadmaps, man. It gives you a peek into what you can expect and why it's a good investment now. So we can see that they were busy in Q1, Q2. I like that they're going to be integrating with Polkadot's ecosystem, EVM and Ethereum tools compatibility. And then in Q3, we have the mainnet that we're launching. We have migrate with BizNet's decentralized applications to mainnet, some partners, DeFi apps launches. So a lot coming on this for the next essentially 6 months or so, and working with DAO and improved features, integrations, and tools coming in Q4. They have an impressive leadership team as well. And then this is what I like to see too, is they're backed by a number of large firms that I recognize all the names, like Magnus Capital, DuckDAO's everywhere, man. Gestalt Capital, Lotus. I think those are the main ones. Mantra DAO's, I'm familiar with it, but those are the main ones that I know. So again, this seems like a pretty solid project, so I did invest in it. And the next one is, and I didn't choose it because of the name, but Tapcoin. So looking at Tapcoin, it's been around for a while. So it launched back in 2018. This is after the bear cycle initiated in 2017, 2018. But they started back then, and we can see that it had a big drop down. And when we look at the 180 day, it shot up. So I'm up on this one as well, but only about 8% so far. But hey, I'm up. And the reason why I believe it's shooting up is because what this coin specifically does and why it's different from a lot of other coins. So Tapcoin, take control of your game currency, transfer currency from game to game using Tapcoins. Moving currency between games has never been this easy. So you can buy this on Uniswap, which is where I bought it, but it bridges the gap between traditional gaming and blockchain gaming. So explore the possibilities, new frontiers of blockchain gaming, so on and so forth. But transfer NFTs no matter the blockchain. Tapcoin NFT portal allows the ability to NFT assets to traverse across multiple blockchains, use the same NFT on Binance, Wax, Hive, Matic, plenty more. Based on, I don't know if they're already compatible with Engine, but based on the catalysts I read, it looks like they are. The great NFT hunt, so they've gotten into the NFT game as well. And then this is what jumped out to me. So play games like Cyberpunk, which I've been playing Cyberpunk. Rust, which was a game that we saw was launched off Engine. So I guess, yeah, it is compatible with Engine. Destiny 2, convert your in-game achievements into Tapcoins. That is really, really cool. I'm going to be probably playing some Cyberpunk tonight because I've been too busy trying to find these hidden gems, but I think I'm going to be relaxing tonight and playing some video games. So I'm going to be checking out how I can convert my in-game achievements into Tapcoin. And so this is a pretty cool platform. Again, they've been around. They give us a lot of highlights around what the project is, what they've been doing. And when I looked into it, I did see a lot of things that I liked in terms of what kind of things you can use for the drops that they're doing with Fall Guys, Witcher 3. I mean, there is just so many things that they're doing and working with. Rocket League, which I also play Rocket League pretty religiously, have been for years. This is a really, really good find. Now, that's the first strategy and how I found those three. The second strategy is basically I look at history. So what crypto crushed back in 2017 during that bull cycle? And for those of you who don't know, crypto runs in bull cycles and bear cycles. You've heard me talk about them multiple times, but I believe it's important to look at history and see which coin crushed back then to skyrocket and why. And so when I looked into it, I found Verge. And Verge went up 1,581,000% back then. It was absolutely the highest. There's a couple other ones that were high as well, but Verge really jumped out. And so I said, okay, and just so you know, Verge is still around. It's somewhere around the top 100 cap coins. So, and I'm not telling you to invest in Verge. What I'm saying is I was looking at Verge, why it shot up, and it's because they're doing something that was unique, but we're also getting recognized or third-party validation from a large financial institution. So I looked up essentially, what turned a dollar investment into a $1.17 million last year, and it was Verge. One of the reasons why Verge shot up was because it was a privacy coin, and there was only a handful who were really doing it, and they were doing it very unique. So they were unique, and then in that late part of the year, they got a bullish tweet from MGT Capital's John McAfee, who's, McAfee antivirus. So that was together what caused it to rally. So what I did was I tried to look up what crypto technology right now is disruptive. Like, what is the most disruptive technology happening to the space right now in this bull cycle? And I found one that highlighted 8 disruptive technologies. And this is just came out March 3rd. And I looked through a number of resources, but this one seemed the most authentic. And I found a couple, which funny enough, Polka Foundry was on there. But the one that really jumped out was Radix. So Radix is the first breakthrough layer 1 platform built to serve the most pressing needs of the thriving DeFi market. Radix intends to make DeFi more accessible by facilitating easier transactions through the DeFi ecosystem. Radix seeks to address this challenge through a process called sharding. Sharding involves cutting up a distributed ledger into 18 quintillion pieces. Radix has built a sharded decentralized ledger that's an alternative to blockchain that can handle millions of transactions at once. And they have some big catalysts that are going to be really jumping this up. So it says, using this remarkable technology, Radix demonstrated a whopping 1.8 million transactions per second, or TPS, in 2018, their current integration, Cerberus, which is currently in the process, is theoretically infinitely scalable. So hopping in to Radix, we can see right now it's around a market cap of around 100,000. It's ranked number 348, so it isn't like a super low cap gem. But when I look at it, we can see that it's been around again for quite some time. It's been consistently scaling over the past 90 days, scaling up. So I like this coin. I got it off of Uniswap. Looking directly at their website, they have a lot of really cool things. I'm not going to really go heavily into the actual technology piece just because, again, for the time to get all through these, I like that they've been mentioned in Fortune, they've been mentioned in Wall Street Journal, Financial Times, TechCrunch, Forbes, CoinDesk. And when we look at their roadmap, they do a similar model to kind of how like Cardano and Ethereum do, where they have named projects. And when you really dive into it, we can see Olympia, an R&D side, and Alexandria. You can click into these and really look at what's all encompassed into them, but they're all very impressive. And I'm speaking about that third-party validation side. UC Davis, which is a very large college here in California, the assistant professor, Department of Computer Science, basically academically proved that their technology works and is scalable. So they have a lot of weight behind them to be able to say that, as well as when we look at a couple of use cases, we can see that they have some big companies who are giving them a lot of testimonials. One that jumped out was Saul Klein from Skype, Love Film, Local Globe. So he's from Skype and he says, I see the same revolutionary potential in the Radix team as I did with the Skype and Netscape teams at the birth of the internet. Big statement. We're excited to join them at the start of a new decentralized network revolution. I mean, really, really good things to say. They have constant news every month, updates on their strategy, marketing, development, media community. I mean, it is a heavily backed crypto, and I think it's only starting to scale. So really like this one, but again, this is that disruptive technology I used kind of past history to look at. So that was the second strategy I used to find Radix, and we can kind of see a little bit more about the assistant professor who he wrote about them. And I dug into tokenomics, solid. Like, this is a really solid coin. That's why I invested in it. The third strategy is you guys. So we're building a community, and I love it. Like the comments, the engagement, everything is great. I'm happy that you guys are getting value out of what I do. So, I mean, and if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you're notified when I do have upcoming videos. But several of you have asked me to look into a bunch of coins, and I put them on a list. So when you let me know, like, hey, look into this coin, I put it down, and it takes some time to get to it, but I actively do look them up. So the third strategy is to look at the comments of others in the community, and if you think you found something legit, let us know what it is and why you think it's legit in the comments. So these next three all came from you guys. The first, I want to give a shout out to Giuseppe Maffei. I hope I said that right. Giuseppe Maffei, hey man, appreciate it. He recommended the Veve token. So this is an odd token. I invested it in a week ago, which I'm stoked. It's up 100% in the week. Essentially, Veve is feed every gorilla, which is very hilarious and dorky and odd. But they have a market cap of, can you see this? Of 40, sorry, they have a market cap of 44 million, but look at their circulating supply. It's absolutely bonkers. So it's 43 quadrillion or something like that. Like, essentially, Feed Every Gorilla started with a massive circulating supply, and it burns coins like crazy. And it's essentially made to reward hodlers and punish people who hop out and sell. So basically, just by holding or hodling the coin, you're gaining more coins for those who are hopping out of it and selling and taking profit. So, and I'm explaining that kind of odd, just I don't have a lot of time to get into it, but It's a pretty cool coin. So ability to stake any token listed and earn ETH or BNB. Smart liquidity options, launch multi-asset pools with weighted proportions, anti-dump technology. All pairs will have the ability to program circuit breakers that can temporarily give sell limits to stabilize trading. Front running to protect. It's a progressive deflationary DeFi token. They built a pretty awesome ecosystem with incredible burn rates, and the tokenomics are pretty cool. The roadmap is, they have a lot coming in the next couple quarters. So I really like this coin, and the reason why I chose it over SafeMoon was because War on Rugs, which a rug pull is essentially what I mentioned earlier, where it's a small coin just created and there's a whole bunch of hype about it. They get it all hyped up and then they pull it and they just take the profits and everyone's, wait, what happened? So War on Rugs is an organization that basically goes and confirms that it's not a rug pull operation, and they did confirm that Fake Token is not. RFI fork, holder structure shows Uniswap first, not a Joe token. Ownership has been renounced, no backdoors or DOS possible from the owner perspective, fixed fee of 2%. So this is why I chose FIG over SafeMoon. The next coin was Veracity, or VRA. So shout out to Stephen Moreau, who 3 days ago mentioned VRA, and I just got into it yesterday, which I think was a good time given where it's up, but it's starting to consolidate down. But looking at VRA, it's a Theta competitor and also a competitor of Contentos, I never know how to say it, but it essentially is a protocol and product layer platform for esports and video entertainment. So it's almost like Theta mixed with BPro a little bit. Like it has a lot of elements to it. I really like the fact that they're integrated with YouTube, Twitch, Vimeo, a bunch of others. It's in the news on Forbes, Hacker Noon, CNBC, Hacked. I mean, it's been mentioned quite a lot. Their VRA Virtuous Cycle, I mean, it's a very good model that they have going. They go into how it works, the staking program. Roadmap is solid. They've been around for a while from when they started, and they have a lot coming in Q2 of this year, and they highlight product versus project as well as Q3. So in Q4 coming NFTs, I think they've got a solid roadmap. We can see that they have partnerships in the works. They have a lot of leadership, a lot of advisors. I think this is a great pick. The next one was brought to you by, I can't say your name, I'm sorry, but thank you. He brought us Share Token, or Sharing is the platform, but Share Token, why I picked it was it hasn't been like going crazy and shooting up yet. This is one I plan to hold for the next probably 3 to 4 to 5 months. And the reason why I picked Share Token is based on the technology. So ShareRing is the technology, and it says open the world with ShareRing ID. ShareRing has created the first truly secure multi-purpose personal information vault. Store your verifiable documents, including your passport, national ID, driver's license, COVID test results, and vaccination certificates, secure in the knowledge that only you decide how and when they are accessed or used. So for New Year's, we went to Hawaii, and we had to keep showing our test results on like this random site, and it was really hard to get to, and it took some time, and that's the way a lot of the world's going. And so the ShareRing app has a number of ways of showing your ID, your passport, COVID test results, vaccination certificate. It goes into like how you can use it, why do you need it. You can actually create different things on here, but health verification, travel commute, rentals, education, employment, financial services, other daily errands. The reason why I think this is going to be a big one is because when you look at the news, and I mean world news, not just US news, COVID passports are coming, but they are not easy to build on NBC News. Digital papers, please. New York becomes first state to roll out IBM's digital COVID-19 vaccine passport apps. And this is also in Singapore and multiple other countries where the digital passport and showing vaccination or that you have gotten a test lately is going to be something for basically releasing us all out into travel. So I had to look at which projects have been around for a while and have built a solid infrastructure with a really good user experience, and sharing has that experience. So I think this coin that's tied to it in the project is going to do very, very well. So that is why I chose sharing. So thank you again for your recommendation. That's all I got. I hope this was helpful and you can start using this strategy. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments and what gems you end up finding. Let all of us know like what we're missing out on and why. I'm Taps. Thank you for your time and happy trading.